Okay, we are with Lovely and Matthew Varughese, residents of the village of Morton Grove. Can you tell us a little history about your family and where you've come from? Cherry, which is near Theduela in the state of Kerala in India, and when you came to this country and where you established yourself and with your family and your 3 children?
Yeah, I came from India 1985 May. In 1988, I went to India and married her. She came 1990, yeah. 1993, we had a first child. Her name is Priya. After that, our dear son, Pravin, born in 1994. Also, we got another child. Her name is Preeti. She born 2001. We got 3 kids.
Now, Priya is a student
In St. Louis.
is she at Washington University?
No, St. Louis University.
Oh, St. Louis University.
Yes.
Okay. And then Pravin was a sophomore
At Carbondale, Illinois.
at Carbondale SIU, and then Preeti goes to which school in Morton Grove?
Lincoln Junior High.
Okay, so she's in District 69?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Lincoln, and then she'll be going to Niles West.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. So, obviously we're here for something that's affected your family, some events that happened on the evening of February 12th. Can you tell us what you know from your knowledge, and obviously news reports, you're hearing a lot of different things. The evening of February 12th leading into February 13th, and then obviously we found out something on February 18th.
Right. February 12th, let me go back the weekend before. Pravin was here over that weekend. He came home Friday. That was his biggest thing to do, to surprise us. So he might say he's not coming, but he would come. So he came Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he came with me to this church. He took communion. We went back home, and he left Monday early morning, by 4:30 he left. He texted us as soon as he got there, and he called us Monday night. He calls every night. Monday night, Tuesday night, he called. Even Wednesday night at 9:04, he called us.
So you're in real close contact with
Very
your
close
son,
contact.
like you were with your daughter down at St. Louis
Yeah.
University.
Yeah.
Obviously they're college students, they're new to this environment, they're outside of Morton Grove.
Right.
So then what
Yeah.
happened then Wednesday
So
evening?
Wednesday evening, he didn't tell us he was going for the party. He told us about his day. He goes to gym every day because that was his latest thing, building his body up. He was preparing himself to be a police officer.
And from what we've learned, all 4 years at Niles West
Yes.
High School, he was, in the fall, he was with cross country.
Mhm.
In the spring, he was at track.
Yes.
And he also liked to swim, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So he's obviously getting into bodybuilding.
Very athletic. Very athletic.
Would you consider him an elite athlete?
Yes.
I mean, nutrition plays a role. Was he always eating healthy at home?
Everything healthy. He was healthy food. He knew what to eat. And Johnny Grills is his favorite store. So he goes there, he bikes there and brings the food home. He'll take a picture before he eats.
So we're talking about somebody that likes to run, likes to bike, likes to swim,
Yeah.
and now is into bodybuilding at
Yes.
school because he's on his own and he's
Yes.
experiencing new things.
Yes, he was so, he wanted to show his muscles. When he was home, he would always come down and show his muscles and, tell me, "Mommy, look at my muscle," he was just preparing himself to be a police officer.
So he was studying criminal justice
Right.
at Southern Illinois University.
Mhm.
From my research so far, I've learned in the fall of 2013, approximately almost 18,000 students were enrolled
Yes.
on campus and off campus.
Mhm.
13,000 approximately undergrad, almost 4,000 graduate, and over 600 going for Juris Doctor or MD, medical doctor. So, there's 18,000 people at this school.
Yes.
Your son is down there obviously studying liberal arts, criminal
Yeah.
justice,
Mhm.
and then obviously, let's go back to this party now.
Yeah. So he told us that he just came back from gym, so we were just talking, and he told us how his day was. And my husband always asks him, did that grade come? If he says he had an exam the previous day, we'll ask what was the grade. So he'll always say what his grade was. And he told us that he has a test on Thursday. So we said, okay. We were just talking as usual, and he hung up, and we didn't know they decided to go to this party. Now we find out all his friends, his cousin, who is his roommate, they all went together in cousin's car. Pravin did not take his car. He wasn't using his car to go to college or anything. He used it only to go to work. He had a little job there in Jimmy John's.
He was a delivery driver for Jimmy John's, is what I've heard. Again, there's so many things that we hear in the media. You've been talking with, I think, is it Monica, the radio station down in Southern Illinois. There's rumors flying around. What are the facts that you know, if you could just tell us really briefly from that evening and then leading up to February 18th?
Like I said, Pravin used his car only to go to work. He doesn't use his car to go to gym or to college. He walked everywhere. So they went to the party. That's all we know, apparently. And 13th night, we were just sitting at home. Usually, let me say, as a mother, Thursday night I woke up. Something was wrong. I don't know what it was. My stomach wasn't feeling right. My heart wasn't right. So I wasn't feeling good. So I thought I'll just go to the nurse and take a day off. And I took Preeti to school. I dropped her off, and I'm driving to St. Francis to go to the nurse. Sitting in the car, I'm just crying.
Now this is
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, the 13th.
13th.
Okay.
So instead of going into the nurse's office, I went into the chapel. I didn't know what I was feeling. It was something heavy. So I sat in the chapel and I cried for 25 minutes, not knowing what was happening. Now I'm thinking maybe that's when something happened, we don't know. So I just cried, and like every time I have this heavy feeling, I'm like, God, just keep my children safe. So I saw the nurse, took a day off, came home, and I lied down in the couch and I slept all day long. I didn't eat. By evening, I picked up Preeti. I came home and I called him. I said, just bring something home. I didn't cook anything. So he brought food, gyros. I love gyros. Couldn't take a bite. I don't know why. I put it back in the refrigerator. And he asked me, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. All day long something is bothering me. So we were just sitting in the couch, just talking, like around 9:30 or something, the phone rings. That's the usual time Pravin calls. So I picked up the phone thinking it's him. So I said, hello, and this voice like, who is this? And I'm like, oh my God, it's a strange voice. So I said, who is this? And he said, this is a sergeant from Carbondale. Your heart just stopped. So I said, what is it, sir? And he goes, is this Pravin's home? I said, yes. Is Pravin home? I said, no, Pravin is in Carbondale. And he said, when was the last time you talked to him? I said, he called us last night. And I kept on asking him, what is wrong, sir? And he said, if he calls you again, call me back at this number. So I put the number down, and then I said, is everything okay, sir? And he said, your son has been missing since last night. His cousin called and reported.
So obviously, let's just get to the details now. Your son went missing. Let's not go through all the motions like you've been with the news media. 5 days later, they found his body in the woods. There's been rumors flying around that he was on his back, that he was on his face.
Yep.
Obviously, a couple things came into play as far as, I think it's called lividity, when blood flow changes due to pressure and due to barometric pressure and the force of nature to the earth. And the cold probably had an effect as far, and also molding. So there's obviously an investigation going on. We've contacted the Carbondale police, and we have found out that they have 69 sworn officers in their patrol investigations and their administration as far as sergeants, lieutenants, district chief, and chief of police. They have 18 full-time civilians in their dispatch and records department. They have crisis victim advocates you've probably spoken with, and they have a grant writer, and they have 5 part-time CSOs. And what we've learned is during the 3 watch shifts that they have, typically 7 to 3, 3 to 11, and 11 to 7. During the time period of 10:30 to 3:30, they actually double up the approximately, if I can say, the 6 or 7 patrol officers that they have in a very big metropolis with almost 18,000 students and the surrounding area. You can imagine, the economy that's down there being on a college campus. But during that time of 10:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., there could be anywhere from 12 to 13 officers on a patrol shift. And we've learned that on the weekends, obviously they're a lot busier because students have school during the week. So we're talking about a weekend night. This could have been just a private party and what have you. There is an ongoing investigation, but if you could just tell us really briefly, what are you going to do now moving forward? I hear there's a petition.
Yes.
You're going to have a benefit coming up very shortly.
Yes, we have an online petition going, and you can find the petition on www.justiceforpravin.org, and we added that petition onto that site. So this is to further investigate the cause of his death. It's very mysterious. So we are planning to pursue it further. And also there is a fundraising dinner for Pravin that's coming up. It's going to be in this church. It's on May 16th. And, one lady from Texas is helping us with that. Her name is Penny. We didn't know her before. She got involved in this case from the beginning. I don't know how she got interested. And she's been following this case, and she offered to help us. I didn't know anything about the fundraising. She called us and asked us, and she is doing everything for us. She called all the restaurants here. She got the food sponsored and the gift certificates for the raffle. Everything is sponsored, and she's doing a whole lot for us, and I cannot thank her enough for that.
Now, the petition came up, I think, right at the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
You've now garnered approximately in almost a week and a half, not even a week and a half, over 12,500 of your goal of 25,000. Now, obviously we want people to utilize social media and go to this link, or if you just have a computer, to go to this link. What's going to happen once that 25,000 threshold hits? What are you going to do with that petition? I hear there's also students that are going and getting signatures on the streets. Why are we doing this 25,000 number, and then what's going to happen after that number is hit?
We have formed, as you know, our community is very involved in Pravin's case because he was so active in the community. So everyone got together and they formed a council, Pravin's Action Council. So it was their decision to make this petition for 25,000, and what we are planning to do is take it to the governor and to the senators and wherever possible.
And then what happens from there? Does it go to a higher level
Yes.
then as far as investigative? I mean, the Carbondale police are obviously overloaded with cases.
Yes.
You can tell any municipality, any place in the world, people are understaffed. But again, at that time of the incident when it happened, they had the patrol people on the streets. And we hear that there was a car that was pulled over.
Yes.
Something would have happened with your son running out of the car. We're going to let the police do their investigation. Yes. And out of respect for the police officers, let them do their investigation. Obviously, you're looking at getting a private investigator. So I guess what's the advice you're getting in getting these 25,000 signatures? Is it going to go to a magistrate? Is it going to go to the Illinois State Police? Is it going to go directly to the governor? Then he's going to intervene himself?
The initial plan right now is get it to the governor and go from there. Apparently, we want to let him know what's going on. Now we hear that there are so many cases like Pravin's that have not been investigated well. They come to a conclusion, no foul play, and we are not satisfied with that. We will not take that for an answer. And, this is our son. Like I said, if I have to go sit in front of White House, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Have you considered, if there's no intervention by the governor, to go to the U.S. Attorney General?
Yes.
Go to the U.S. Department of Justice, contact your state representative or senator at the U.S. level?
Yes. Yes. I will do anything in my power. And we both have decided, because we will not rest until we get satisfying answers. I'm telling you that this is our son. And if we don't do this for him, we are not parents. I have to fight for him. He has no more voice. We will be his voice.
Okay. Well, again, the petition can be found on ipetitions.com. You can look under the name of their son. And can you spell the name of your son for everybody?
Pravin, Pravin, and it's pravin.org. That's where www.justiceforpravin.org.
And your last name is spelled
Varughese.
Okay, so you can find that spelling on ipetitions.com. You can go to their website, and again, the benefit is on the benefit that you're having for him. There's a benefit dinner at your church. Do we have a date for the church?
Yes, May 16th.
May 16th.
May 16th. It will be in this church, and we have already a lot of people signed up, and there will be media attention here, and we are going to hit it.
So if people can't make obviously the dinner,
yes.
You're saying to go to the website pravin.org.
Right.
Okay.
Right. For the dinner, it's $10 we charge, and that's for his fund, and they can have whatever food they want, because a lot of places have donated food, and we will have entertainment here, raffle here, prizes, and it will be, Pravin loved attention. He loved to be in a body. He was center of anybody. So we'll do everything possible to honor his life.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time this morning.
Okay. Thank you.